Hello everyone, it's me Cheryl here with another video. There's already news about the update after the Korean Official Livestream yesterday. Was it yesterday? And we'll talk some of the updates today, so this might be a longer video. As you can see, they also posted an update notice on what the update is about, and there's a lot of them, and we'll dive right into it. First off, we're going to talk about the new main story chapter, all about Yogmont. The other bosses that we'll encounter as well, like the Enchanting Apex Fidelia, and Soul Executioner Davorka. I feel like I've seen her before. Not sure if it's in Solo Leveling or a different manhwa, but whatever. In my previous live stream, I talked about some stuff about Yogmont and how I'm wondering why he was released this early. But I'm guessing it's because he was not really talked about or didn't even do much during the original manhwa story. So most of the upcoming story chapters about Yogmont will be original story in the game, which looks like the continuation of the Justicia Guild story with Alicia and Emma. Spoilers! He'll probably not die here yet, since he will show up as one of Antares' subordinate by the end of the solo leveling story. End of spoilers. But anyway, since this is a story edition, it should be fairly easy to beat, so no need to stress about it. Though it might be tougher for newer players, so make sure to always be prepared. And you can always ask for tips in the official Discord channel, which you can see here. There's a link here, and just make sure to always check the pinned messages before asking anything, because your question might already be asked. And there's also a search button that you can always use. And then there's the update for the final act of the Jeju Alliance raid, the instance and N4 dungeon update, and some Hunter Archive new story, and addition to Secret Library. My Hunter Archive keys have been rotting now, so I hope they add more than just one new Hunter Archive or Secret Library, but we'll see in the update. Now let's talk about Sung Jin-woo's new level expansion and job change. With a job change, our maximum level will go up from 100 to level 105. We'll get additional gate difficulty, which will go up to level 45, I think. It was in the previous update patch notes. And we'll get more activity funds, so there's more AFK rewards, which is always good. About the new job change, I think it will be called Adversary, and the requirements will be at least 200,000 total power for Sung Jin-woo, clear the new story chapter, which is about Yogmont, and to clear Battlefield of Trials floor 45, which is probably going to be a bit harder for newer players, but you'll get there eventually, no need to rush. As for the rewards, upon clearing it, we'll get the final survivability Blessing Stone slot, a new Blessing Stone called Mana Powered Shield, and the new costume, which you can both see here. Looks like the Mana Powered Shield, at least in my speculation, will be additional shield at the cost of mana or something, based on the name and the picture. But yeah. And also, as you can see here in the patch notes, we'll be having a new shadow, which is Shadow Beste, and her main shadow authority will be increased defense penetration, which will be really good when fighting high level bosses like Deimos and Deimos, but also for other high level bosses. And we'll also get the new Shadow Skill level up feature, which I briefly mentioned in my past video. It looks like we'll get a new skill scroll for it. At least now we can save some of our shadow materials, which is good. There's also the new Rune and Blessing Stone synthesis feature that will be added, and we'll get to that later. And a new Sung Jin-woo weapon called Stormbringer that we'll check out now. Here you can see a short clip of how Thorbringer plays, and they explained it in a simple way. They said that the basic attack damage and the skill attack, or maybe animation, becomes faster based on Jinwoo's strength stat. So there's more reason to go full strength now. Now, one of the things most players have been looking forward to is how good Goto Ryuji will be, and we only got a sneak peek in the official Korean live stream. But here's his general info, and speculation is right. He is a windbreaker. It will be tough for the Wu Jinchul fans, but Goto Ryuji's skill set looks really promising. We'll see more when the update drops, and maybe during the official live stream. Tomorrow? And also with the update, we'll get to the final act of the Jeju Island Alliance raid, which we talked about earlier. And that's the raid where we will be fighting against the Ant King. He's not Barry yet, so we won't call him that for now. But you know how the story goes. Always participate in events, even if you're a new player, because there's a lot of rewards in every event, including a legendary skill rune chest. But they mentioned that this will be a random chest, so, you know, don't keep your hopes that up. But at least you can just open it and get any legendary rune. Will always be good, especially for newer players. Now, one of the features us older or you luckier players have been waiting for is the Rune and Blessing Stone synthesis feature. Here, we can see that we'll need quite a few stuff to synthesize a rune or a Blessing Stone to a higher tier. We'll need, of course, the legendary rune or Blessing Stone that you want to upgrade or synthesize, some synthesis materials, around 15 of them, 100,000 gold, and the extra legendary rune or Blessing Stone that you'll want to sacrifice as an upgrade material. Kinda hard to get the last one. They said that the synthesis materials will be obtainable in the Jeju Island event rewards, guild shop, simulation gate, and many other parts of the game that were not explained properly or elaborated. And maybe more of that in the English live stream. But anyway, since there's a lot of runes and blessing stones, the synthesis material drops might be randomized, which is understandable, so it will take a while to get there. But you also need like around 15 for each upgrade anyway, so you don't have to worry, you don't have to rush. And if you're not ready to synthesize yet and just want to unlock all legendary runes and blessing stones first, but you have a lot of dupes and you're also a little bit on the unlucky side, then you can instead be excited with the new fusion update. This is basically an upgrade to the current reroll feature, where you just blindly reroll and spend an enormous amount of blessing stones, if you're unlucky like me, just to get a new one. With the update, we can select which rune or blessing stone we want to obtain, and we can get a pity after around 10 rerolls. I said around because they mentioned something about the reroll's value not being 1:1, but rather 1:0.9, but don't quote me on that. At least we now have a better chance to get the ones that we want. And they said that we can freely swap or target runes or blessing stone anytime, and it won't reset the reroll stack or the draw point progress here. So at least there's nothing to worry about, or at least no need to worry about if you change your mind midway. And as you can see here, there's a new themed event, which is the exciting Spring Outing theme event, which will also include some event story, minigame, boss challenge, and a lot of rewards. I do wish there's a way to view older event stories, but that's not something they talked about, so it would be nice to have it. What they did talk about are the rewards. As you can see, we get quite a decent amount of rewards for the event, including a Gina skin, some icons, frames, and up to 100 custom drop tickets. That's a lot. And what a lot of players have been looking forward to, the older event weapons. Though a small disclaimer, they mentioned that the weapon box that you see here right now is in fact a random weapon box. So it's all up to RNG whether you'll get the coveted gold-tailed fox light spear weapon, oh that's so long, or you'll get a fish. This fish. But they also said in the live stream that they'll check what they can do before the update drops. If they can add any way to get like a guaranteed weapon of your choice, but don't quote me on that. It may or may not happen. It would be nice if it does happen. And then there's other updates like the Battle Tier expansion. Again, new instance and encore dungeon updates. One for instance and one for encore boss. The giant centipede will be added as a new encore boss, and hobgoblin leader for instance dungeon. There's also going to be new Damus proof of the strong feature that will be added in this update. And with that addition, players will not be able to buy the gold baron medal anymore from the proof of strong exchange shop, and that includes me. I won't be able to buy it anymore because I'm a pleb. Then, Simulation Gate update that I talked about in my other video. They showed a bit more screenshots here and there. They expanded it up to tier 30, as you can see. And it is really scary because you'll need around 2 million power to clear tier 30. Or at least that's the recommended power. I know it's a lot, and I probably won't be able to clear it anytime soon. But they said they'll also update some of the older codes and add new codes to help bridge the gap for higher team power requirements. So it all comes down to luck and skill. And as they say, luck is also a skill, which I apparently do not have. Also, here in the screenshots, as you can see, they also removed the time attack feature in some stages, mostly the boss stages. So now we can pause the game anytime, in any fights, and we don't have to worry about the time running out, even when the game is paused. Then there's also the replay mode, or I guess this is the retry feature. I'm not sure, because there's already a retry, I think. I may be wrong, but yeah, you can retry again the fight once you lose. Not sure how it will work with the exit thing, where you can just exit the fight to retry, but we'll see. Maybe you don't have to exit anymore, you can just press retry, so you can retry the whole fight, but the one-time retry will be once you like literally fail the simulation. We'll see how it goes. They also mentioned adding like additional save points to make things better and easier. So if you're like planning on leaving midway, you don't have to restart the whole fight, especially for the longer stages. But I hope they don't save your run when one of your hunters died. So if you retry, you're gonna get stuck on when they died. But we'll see. And they also teased more upcoming updates for April, and I'll show you some of them here. Artifact expansion, where the max level and maybe even rarity of the artifacts will be increased, so yellow legendary won't be the max anymore, maybe. Artifact reforging feature, where we'll be able to raise the level of older artifacts to the highest available level. So if you already have like a really good helmet, you can just raise its level instead of trying to get a higher tier or higher level drop, especially the ones you just crafted recently. And then dungeon expansion, so we'll have a higher tier dungeons to farm higher tier artifacts. So maybe both the basic tier will be increased from tier 20, as well as the proof of the strong tier, because currently proof of the strong tier is maxed at tier 21, but there's more difficulty setting for it. We'll see. They also mentioned there will be new set items, and the least used artifact will be excluded from the higher tier drop rewards. That saves you time for just salvaging them. But also, salvaging will also be nice because you get more resources. That doesn't mean you can't upgrade them to higher tier artifacts. They just won't drop in higher tier dungeons anymore. There's also the armory expansion, which is always a good thing because that's technically free e-power. And gold boss rage competition will be added in April, which is good for competitive guilds. And maybe free rewards for casual guilds. Low tier rewards, but still rewards are rewards. Also, there's new update compensation. So we will get Essence Stones 500, 2 Gate Keys, 15 Weapon Enhancement Gear, Tier 2, and 20% Diamond Discount Coupon after the update, which is always good. And then these are the events that will end, currency that will disappear. So if you haven't used them yet, make sure to use them. Items that will disappear, and packages that won't be purchasable anymore. So if you want to read them all, they're in this date patch, which I will also add the link to the description, and the balance adjustments for Skill Rune and Blessing Stone, which is here. There's a lot of updates here. They're really, really good. You can check them all out. But what I am looking forward to is Cold Storm Mutilate, because this feels like the same as Electric Shock. Dagger Toss, Electric Shock, but this is more of an AoE on yourself. It's still a lot. It's still nice. And also, Monarch's Domain is going to be updated, which is really good. Blessing Stone, instead of just 100 damage, 100% of your attack every second, it's now up to 400%. So if there's players who got Monarch's Domain as their first Blessing Stone, it will still be useful. It's of course not as useful as other Blessing Stones, but this is more than welcome, because even the normal is just double the damage. There's a lot of updates here. Also, Wolf Assassin will be really good, especially if you're using Kasaka's Venom Fang, the SSR version, because that's plus 8% at the max. That's plus 8% in the Legendary version. That's gonna be really good for people who likes using HP extraction like me as just an additional blessing stone. 1%. We get 1% more heal. And lastly, just like what I mentioned in my previous video, our very own Hunter Association mascot, Sioren, will be added to the game as a playable hunter. That's right. After Goto gets added, it will be Sioren who's next, which will be added in April. And again, we're not sure about what element she'll be or what type she'll be, but it's speculated that she'll be a water breaker. And before we end this video, they mentioned that next week there will be a celebration for the 60 million downloads? 60 million downloads, really? So they'll be giving up to 10,000 magic stones as event rewards. They said that 6,000 magic stones will be too little, but 60,000 is too much. So they just decided to give like 10,000 total as event rewards. So that's also good. It's probably just the low tier magic stones, but it is still nice because you can buy a lot of them in the Magic Stone Exchange store. And they were thinking of increasing the supply of gold and advanced magic stone, but don't quote me on that. They just briefly, what the heck? Briefly talked about it in the live stream. Then on May, it will be the first anniversary update. So there's going to be a lot of rewards by then. So if you're planning to take a break, don't take a break during May, because there's a lot of rewards, because it's the anniversary. And then they also briefly talked about, well, not really briefly, they talked about a little bit about the potential multiplayer feature in the future. So there's no other news about that, no other stuff that they talked about that. So we'll see how it goes. And last but not least, these are the 3 redeem codes that they provided during the Korean Official Livestream. I'll show them up here on the screen and also post them down as pinned comments for easier copy pasting. I'll also be updating the comment for any newer redeem codes for the English Official Livestream, or maybe that's gonna be in a separate Go to Ryuji video. We'll see. And that's gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and are excited for the upcoming update. I am definitely excited. And as always, links down in the description for any stuff like the official website, forum, and maybe my personal streams if you want to watch. So with that, take care and have a great rest of your day. See ya!